It's very easy to tell you why telecentres are important.
The key word for me is about aspiration. Telecentres give people hope, to believe that their dreams can happen.
So it's empowering the community, empowering the people, empowering everyone.
So the telecentre is the place to access the local wisdom.
We're talking about telecentres providing opportunities to areas that do not actually have that.
The thing that we can possibly focus upon is allowing people to believe that they can lift themselves from the position they may find themselves in. It doesn't matter whether that's an employment situation, whether that's a community situation, whether that's a political situation, whatever it is, it allows them hope to change their lives.
I'm from a country which had a very big problem, the genocide. A country which is trying to use ICT as a strategic tool to bridge the digital divide and move the country to another level.
What we achieve now in the Middle East or in the MENA region, that's all about empowering these communities through the ICT. ICT is not about the internet only, it's about information and communication, knowledge, radio, fax, photocopy.
It's more about the purpose of the connectivity and the purpose of the gathering and how they're using ICT, and it's not about access.
It's not just about access to technology, it's what you do with it, bringing digital technology to the underserved people who have never used it in marginal places or back in the market places was important for society, important for development.
The issue is not just access, the issue is opportunity and information which actually turns into knowledge, and knowledge that turns into skills.
Telecentres, as most of you heard, most of you said, are not just community centres. They are e-government access centres, providing a place for community to access and apply for e-government services. There are content and application hubs where there are innovative content and applications like on education, e-health, telemedicine, agriculture.
Access to devices and broadband, and I think that's the traditional view of what telecentres bring. Access to digital literacy skills and competencies.
They're also training and capacity building centres, providing training on IT and other areas, improving ICT literacy.
On one side, telecentres are trying to link organizations and communities by becoming a service hub for government and business. On the other side, telecentres also are trying to become channel for community products and services.
And then as centers for the development of content and creativity and entrepreneurship.
Telecentres are rural community centres, providing things like career guidance services, some places even do BPO services, and most important is providing entrepreneurial and innovation skills.
What the telecentre movement does is that it combines access to opportunities.
So many people that are waiting for these kind of opportunities. No matter where you go right now, it's no longer the discussions about bringing this to the rural people. We have seen here in Barcelona, one of the most important metropolitan areas of this planet. Do you see people that remain disconnected, remain outside of the opportunities, the technology that's providing today to the people?
We are now really talking about the opportunity divide. There are people around the world that have no access, and therefore they need access to information and access to opportunities. Yet there are many people around the world that have had access but don't have access to opportunities which will either get them into jobs, put them on a path for further training or education, or provide them with skill sets to start something on their own.
All the people now have a mobile, they can access ICT, but they don't have the knowledge to have the main knowledge or the valuable knowledge, and they are not trained. So I think telecentres still needed the training, awareness, and how to capture the knowledge needed for every country.
People are being increasingly counted in life because of what they do online, and information about them is shaping decisions and resources. and how they're being allocated. And if this whole part of the world that serves through telecentres isn't included, then that's a real problem.
If there were no telecentres, who would help people that are excluded in their societies from good access to information?
In those first experiences in Egypt, we had, I remember two people, Muhammad and Hani. One was illiterate, and because of just showing some information and music and photos on the internet, he decided to go back and learn how to read and write. Hani was in high school, and he decided to study IT and became a professional in IT.
If there were no telecentres, how would communities in remote locations with little government capacity make use of e-government services?
In the Pacific framework, we have identified the regional ICT framework that shared facility or telecenter that is by far the most feasible in terms of financial and technical feasibility model that can provide better access to our especially communities in the rural and the remote islands.
If there were no telecentres, who would guide new users about development-related uses of ICT?
My coordinator, Telecentre operators, asked me, so are we going to have the program next year? Because all the courses are already signed up for 1 year. And this is the answer. 1 year, and there are lines for 1 year. People don't feel their feet. So if they didn't need it, then we wouldn't have it.
If there were no telecentres, how would communities get proper public access to ICT products and services?
Who is this woman? Why is she sitting there? Why did she make a 20-minute walk or take a bus to come to a telecentre? What is she looking at? What is changing in her life? What is the internet and that resource learning to make some kind of effect on her life? Who's the woman sitting next to her? Why do people sit two people to a computer? If the market truly is meeting the demand for what telecentres bring, why could I snap this photo?
If there were no telecentres, would the digital divide really decrease? And if there were no telecentres, would the world be better off?
I think we need to reframe the opportunity, because the question is, how do we need to tell the story, and how do we need to position why there is still a digital divide and why telecentres matter?
This needs to be communicated. People need to understand that this game is still very much on.
So I think that one of the opportunities that telecentres have to demonstrate their relevance is to emphasize the broader role that telecentres play beyond access to just devices and broadband, and emphasize more the role of telecentres in bringing true technology literacy to communities and to serve as centres of creativity and innovation. What I would like to see is for us to think of telecentres becoming the centres of innovation, and where disruptive technologies emerge. Because it is only when the telecentres are going to become centres of innovation that you will actually see demonstrable and high impact on the community.
In my experience working, I have seen that it's possible to really transform telecentres into centres of innovation, and they can become hubs for economic development, social development.
I think that the telecentres still matter if it can give the life meaning to people.
In the Pacific, we believe in partnership. Because we're so small, we like to work as a region, and we have what we call many partners, one team.
The 1 million people that are already is connected to us. It's a very powerful reason for us to make an effort, special effort, to develop even better solutions for the communities we serve.
We have a lot of leaders that we have already developed them, and they need to turn themselves to be the entrepreneurs. The Telecentre has created a lot of nobody to be somebody.